All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. Great high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays. Like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. Network. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us, from all of us here at the ASAP Network.
Well, good evening and welcome to the All Sports All Plays Network. This is the Real Talk Crew. What's going on, gentlemen? How you guys doing?
Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up?
Doing good. Let's get this show going.
All right, let's introduce the cast. Hey, you guys know him as Jay Ness. You know he's been on the network before. You know he's a part of the network. What's up with it, Jay?
I can't hear you, Freddie.
Oh, so let hear some tech. Can the rest of you guys hear me?
Yeah, I hear you fine.
Oh, okay, cool.
I can hear them. I can't hear you for some reason.
Oh man, that's not a good thing. But hopefully we can get him back to rolling real soon. All right, we have a guest on the show, Mr. Yo, but they call him Big Dog. What's up with the Big Dog?
What's up? How's everybody doing out there? Good to see y'all.
All right, cool. We got Ray back on the show again. What's up with it, Ray?
I'm here. I'm ready to go. Let's get this thing fired up.
Yes, sir. Well, gentlemen, the way we start off the show, we did the advertising, but we need to let all the viewers know why is it important for them to watch this show is because, hey, if you become a viewer of the month to get a free T-shirt, all you have to do is like this video, comment on the video, watch it, like our page, follow our page, and rock and roll with us. If you do not have time to comment and all that good stuff, maybe you catching the show in the morning and you want a T-shirt. You can message a page, messages on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and you better buy your very own ASAP T-shirt. That's $14.99 plus shipping and handling. Jay, are you there?
Yes, I am. That's much better, man.
All right, good. I'm about to say you can't come on Real Talk and not be able to hear the wonderful Freddie. I'm just saying.
They trying to save you, Freddie. They trying to do anything they can to throw some wrenches in the situation to keep me from getting at you tonight.
All right, let's get right into it, gentlemen. Man, did we have a Super Bowl yesterday? Or did we? Let's give a shout out to Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They are Super Bowl champions, but let's get right into it. Who was to blame for the Chiefs' loss in that Super Bowl? Jay, we're going to start with you.
Andy Reid. There was no adjustments. He didn't make a single adjustment. I mean, dude, if you watch the game, he was out there on an island, and I'm talking about Patrick. He was out there on an island alone. They had 5 down linemen, and that's it. Never once did they give a tight end a chip. Never once did they throw a running back there just as an extra blocker. They didn't throw an extra lineman out there, never one time. And it was time and time again. It was too much for their front 5, man. So it's Andy Reid. No adjustments were made. Zero.
So Jay said it's Andy Reid. Big Dog, who was to blame for that loss from the Chiefs from yesterday?
Well, I partially blame Andy Reid. I partially blame a couple of the blown calls, especially in the first half, especially on that third touchdown drive. The pass interference call on the long pass to Mike Evans. If you watch the replay of that, and I saw this on Twitter today, when they lined up in that hurry up, AB was not set. So the referees blew that call. And then if you watch the way the pass was thrown, that was not a pass interference. So that's number one. Number two, the pass interference call in the end zone I thought was bad. They called on Teron on Matthew. That was the bad call as well. So those two bad calls. And then when they called the interception back, yeah, it was holding, but it was incidental contact, if you ask me. So I partially blame Andy Reid for their lack of protection on Mahomes, but I blame the refs on those three calls. Even two of those calls are not made. It's a whole different ball game.
Big dog, I know you said it, and Ray, we about to get to you in a minute, but I have to fire back. That big dog, here at Real Talk, man, we keep it real. We do a lot of fire back, but we can blame the refs all day long. But like I always say, never put the game in position to the refs. Do not let the refs dictate the game. Me personally, hey, we've talked about it on this network in the past. We see how valuable an offensive line is to football because no matter who the quarterback is, if that offensive line is slacking on some pieces, they tend to get hurt. But do you still believe that even though you still missing two tackles, that Patrick Mahomes still could have made some plays to get at least one touchdown in this game?
Wait, we can't even go there yet, though, because you can't even go on the offensive line like that, man. Even with the two injured offensive linemen, it still falls back on Andy Reid. He knows he has the offensive lineman hurt. He knows his stuff is down. He's supposed to be helping them out to help Patrick out. But back to the referee thing. Hold on. We can't even talk about referee issues. He didn't score a touchdown.
No, he didn't score a touchdown. But the thing is, if they don't score there, that game is a whole lot closer going in the second half, and thus Andy Reid's game plan in the second half might have changed. So I'm still saying Reid was to blame for calling the timeout and for not giving Mahomes the protection. But those two calls aren't made. Tampa Bay probably doesn't score a touchdown going into the second half. KC gets the ball in the second half, and it's a whole different ball game, whole different mentality. 14-6 and 21-6. Whole different mentality.
It was definitely a momentum killer. But oh man, I don't know, man.
I wish, everybody who judges Aaron Rodgers on these games, they slander his name out. But when Patrick Mahomes had a game like that yesterday, you don't hear that kind of talk coming towards you. I'm just saying.
No, it's true. It's true. Yeah, we do defend Patrick right now, but give it a couple more years and he only wins one championship, he'll be in the same category as Aaron Rodgers for sure.
I'm just saying, Ray, let's get a part of this, man. Who was to blame for this loss on the Chiefs side?
Well, when you talk about football, you got to talk about the trenches. The defensive line for KC didn't get no penetration in there on Tom Brady. They only had one sack for 6 yards. Now, you got to talk about the offensive line for KC. Hey, even though they had the two offensive linemen injured, you got to have the backup. They're pros. And if they don't have pros, what happened was the two rush ends just kept coming and coming. They had pressure on Mahomes all game long. Andy Reid should have had come up with a game plan to start chipping these guys so the tackles could get on them and start physically manhandling them. It never happened. The running backs never chipped. The tight ends never chipped. They never double teamed anybody. They just had a free run. JP was getting in there. The other rush end was getting in there. Mahomes was on the run all game long. And like I said, game of football, you got to win in the trenches. If you don't win the trenches, you're not going to win the game of football. And coming to these penalties and stuff like that, hey, they made these mistakes. You can't let the referees call these games. You got Tom Brady on the other end. If you don't make Tom Brady get like he's got to run around like a chicken cut off, his head cut off like a chicken, Tom Brady's going to pick you apart, and that's what happened. Tom Brady hit the short passes, hit the long passes, and the intermediate passes. They were not getting in on him at all.
I saw a funny stat, man, and this is right on what Ray's speaking on, man, because Patrick Mahomes ran 500 total yards in the opposite direction.
Actually, make that correct. 497 yards.
497 yards in the opposite direction.
That is correct.
Look, when you have that, it like Ray said again, you have pros as backups. You have pros. Yeah, it might the level of play might go down a tad bit, but that's where Andy Reid steps in. And again, like Ray seconds on me, you chip him. Where was the tight end with a little delayed chip? Where was a running back coming out the backfield off a delayed chip? Like nothing. Absolutely nothing. It was a race.
And then another point of that, all emphasis on that is you got 3 sacks for 27 yards, and then you got Mahomes running back 497 yards in the backfield going to the other direction. When your end zone's on the other direction, you're running back this way. That means your offensive line is not blocking. But you got to understand too, the offensive lineman had 2 weeks to prepare for this. Not a week repair, 2 weeks to repair this. And they seemed like they didn't come out and play. Andy Reid didn't have them ready to come and play. I don't know if the outside issue with Andy Reid's son came involved in getting the game plan. If his head wasn't in the game, you're talking about the freaking Super Bowl. Outside distractions, it's going to come away from the team. But you're talking about the Super Bowls here, and you're talking about 2 teams got two good quarterbacks. But you got Tom Brady, who's, if you don't get him going up and down the field or him running around like a chicken cut off, you're not going to stop him. He's going to pick you apart, and that's what happened. They did not run any kind of blitz off of it. They didn't put no linebacker blitz in there. They straight out ran that four-man defense lineman in, hoping to get pressure. And my unique of this whole deal, I listened to the whole entire Super Bowl by radio because I was on the way from North Carolina from my mom's funeral up to here. So I had a different perspective than anybody else because the TV people don't tell you what's going on. The radio guys has to break it down to you. And the whole game, this is the radio telecast. Kurt Warner. Hey, man, the trenches getting blown up. Hey, KC's not holding the trenches. Tampa Bay's holding the trenches. Every single word was them holding the trenches. If you don't hold the trenches, you ain't gonna win no games. Battle of the trenches. That's why everybody thinks the quarterback is more important, but your offensive line is important too. Because you don't win them trenches.
What is Kansas City's offense made of? Deep plays and rinky dinks. They check down and they throw it deep to get the deep play. The thing about it was they took those two high safeties that took out that deep play, and those linebackers were on it. How many times did you see Tyreek Hill catch a little 2-3 yard dinker? Not many. Not many
at all. But look at it this way too.
Hartman was getting them.
But look at it this way
and that was by design.
If you taking away the deep pass, two safeties, Andy Reid don't have a running game. He doesn't have a running style play where they can boost up that middle and stuff.
Well,
because you're taking 2 safeties away. You're taking 2 safeties out of the 8-man box. You're playing your regular 5-man, 4-man front with your 2 linebackers. You had no 8-man down in that box. If you don't have a running game to combat them 2 safeties, your deep pass is going to be gone.
But
that's the problem.
Granted, they use their receivers like running backs in a sense with these little wide receiver screens, these little 2-3 yard routes. They kind of use them in that type of sense as it is, but
they were taking them away.
Yeah, they took it away. And
if you don't have a straight running game,
Madden. It looked like a young kid playing Madden, calling the shotgun spread every single play.
All right, gentlemen.
Exactly.
This is how I looked at it, I said before this game, whichever defense give pressure to whichever quarterback that team's going to win. The Kansas City Chiefs defense could not put no pressure on Tom Brady. Tom Brady had enough time to sit in the pocket. He had enough time to call his wife, had enough time to call the mama, had enough time to order a sandwich.
Change the diapers.
He had too much time in the pocket. And then you have that defense. The defense just destroyed that offensive line and just got whatever they want, got wherever they want, when they want it. And Patrick Mahomes could not make no plays. And his wide receivers and Kelsey could not get open most of the game because, like you said, they was blind. They was not going to let no deep pass go down the middle. But at the end of the day, as great as Patrick Mahomes is, he should have been able to get at least one touchdown. I mean, at least one touchdown. I'm sorry. I mean, I understand what you're going through, Patrick Mahomes, but can you get at least one touchdown?
Did you see how many drops Kelsey had? Kelsey had about 2 or 3 drops and balls that were right in his hands, and that's not like Kelsey to drop those balls.
Yeah, but Kelsey also usually isn't the highest targeted receiver on the team.
He was the only guy that was open because they were double teaming Tyreek Hill on the one side.
Really open.
He wasn't that open. No, throws, exactly.
I mean,
you guys. Hey, speaking of which, did you see that arm flick?
Oh, when he was like flying on the side and he just threw it almost to the end. That was kind of cool if you think about it. To have that kind of arm strength at that angle, that was crazy.
I was just about to say
Yeah.
this. I think the Chiefs have the same problem as
agree,
Green
sir.
Bay have. The Green Bay, I think they need a slot receiver, and
Yeah.
the Chiefs might need a slot receiver to run routes or something because
They don't need a slot receiver. They just need a new game plan. They got they have Hartman. They got Tyreek Hill. They got 3 different They got Sammy Watkins. They can all run that. They can interchange throughout the different positions of
They
receivers.
signed Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell didn't even see the field yesterday.
They didn't have a running back to see the field.
They had
yesterday,
nothing. They had nothing.
Yeah, because I was looking. I was looking at Andy Reid's facial expression, and he just looked over there calm. He wasn't really getting fired up, and I mean, you like Jay said, you're the coach. You have to lead by example. You have to get your team fired up and get them ready to play. And I'm just saying, Patrick Mahomes, I'm not gonna say all the blame's not on him, off him, because you have to at least get one touchdown, least one touchdown.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
and plus, his clock management was terrible. Andy Reid's always been known for terrible clock management under pressure, and his clock management at the end of the first half was to call that timeout was stupid. Stupid.
Andy buckled.
All right, let's go. Let's move on to the next topic. Tom Brady won the Finals MVP. I mean, the Super Bowl MVP. But should he win the MVP or should it have been the defense? So the question is, did Tom Brady win the game or did that defense win the game? We'll start with you, Ray.
Okay. My answer to this is the defense, because the defense gave Tom Brady good field position every time they took the field. I mean, they stopped him. They punted the ball away. How many times they had 3 and outs on this big play Andy Reid's offense? So, I mean, it's the defense who did all the work, who got Tom Brady in positions to get good field position and stuff like that. But it was a team effort to win this game. But right now, I'm picking the defense.
All right, Big Dog. Was it Tom or was it the defense?
It was definitely the defense. It was definitely Todd Bowles. But you also got to give a little credit to the special teams, because the way they put the pressure on the punter, did you see how many punts he shanked? There was about 2 or 3 punts that he kicked off the side of his foot that gave Tampa great field position as well. So the defense, Todd Bowles, and a little bit to the special teams coach.
All right, Jay, are you giving any love to Tom Brady, or are you going to stick with the defense?
It's Tom Brady, man. It's Tom Brady. Tom Brady came out there and from the opening bell, before the bell rang, he set the tone. You know what I mean? You could see him. You could see the energy in him on the sideline before the game started. Getting in Tyrann Mathieu's face. I mean, the energy that Tom put in there, and I don't know if you guys seen the clip afterwards when they were in the locker room and everybody's in there partying, and Tom Brady's putting his stuff up, taking his stuff down from the locker room, get ready for the next year. Yeah. So he put that energy in there, and it was, you could see it, man. You could see it throughout all those players, everybody, not just the defense. The offensive players were getting 2 yards, 3-yard falls. You know what I mean? Like everything was energy, and I think it was Brady, man. He led the way. He had 3 touchdowns. So yeah, Brady.
It's funny. A friend of mine called me today. He goes, "Hey, did you see the Tampa Bay Patriots last night?" And I said, "You know what? It looked like a typical Belichick game plan that Tampa pulled out. And Brady had all the time in the world back there. I mean, hell, any of us could have thrown touchdowns last night. But, if that defense doesn't step up, that's a lot closer. That's a much closer game. So, I mean, yeah, Brady's going to get the MVP. 3 touchdown passes. There was no, quote unquote, standout defensive player. It was the whole unit, so they had to give it to Brady. But I still think it was the defense.
Jay, I look at it a little bit more deeper than what you're saying. I don't like starting off your real talk debut of me and you agreeing on something. I don't like that idea at all. Trust me at all. I don't like that. I don't think that's great. This is a great start, in my opinion. But I have to go with Tom Brady, too, for one reason, man. Yesterday I sat back and said, you know what? You just really have to appreciate greatness when greatness is out there. You just have to, man. I mean, you can hate Brady, you can know what to like to do, but at the end of the day, you have to respect greatness. And you look at a dude, this year is different from every other season. You have your COVID season. This dude come here to a new team, new scheme, new teammates, everything. You can't have a training camp. You come here learning on the fly, bringing in a new system, teaching these guys. Yes, this team have had talent for a while, but guess what? They do not know how to win. So he brought the winning mindset to this team. And guess what? I mean, it's each week. Then you go to the playoffs. Then you go against the Washington football team's defense, who was an elite defensive team. Then you go to New Orleans and beat Drew Brees, who's a Hall of Fame quarterback. Then you go to Lambeau and beat the MVP of the league, the baddest man to touch the field, and Aaron Rodgers. Mm-hmm. Then you go to Florida into the Super Bowl, beat the guy that everybody brags about being the man, and Patrick Mahomes, and winning the Super Bowl. So
well, you did your job, because now you put too much butter on the bread. Now I'm gonna have to slow you down. Now we was talking about Brady in this game. You ran through the whole season on him. Now
I just gotta show how great this dude is, man. And then you come into this Super Bowl like this, like that what he did in that Super Bowl. It didn't start yesterday, in my opinion. It started from day one. What this man have done. So. Yes, he has to be the MVP in my opinion.
He really does, man. And again, like we said, guys, the difference between the two teams. One did have Brady, and when an adjustment did need to be made, you could see Tampa making adjustments live. You can see them adapting to the game live. And I'm gonna tell you what: if Brady was in Kansas City and the exact same results was going on, Brady would have had 2 tight ends out there in the backfield if he needed to. Brady would have had 2 running backs in the backfield if he would have had extra linemen on the field if he needed to, because that's what he would have done. He would have made sure it happened to get the job done. And we see it time and time again. I don't like the guy. I ain't gonna be rooting for him. You ain't gonna hear me never, behind him again. But you, like you said, you gotta respect greatness when it's happening. And yesterday it was happening.
You know what, Jay? You say that, but we see greatness about every other night, and you still don't be respectful. Well, we're not gonna get into that just yet. We're not gonna get into that. You don't respect that greatness.
You must be talking about your other dude over there, huh? Aaron Rodgers.
No. I'm not talking about that. We'll talk about that another day and another time, because I'm not bringing that conversation on the set yet.
Okay, all right. You save that one.
Hey, John Suggs, to answer this question, Mike Evans already said that he'll take a pay cut to return. Hey, I mean, when you play a Brady, Brady always have that. Some teammates might say, I'm going to take a pay cut, because guess what? They want to win. They want to keep winning. So, I would, Yeah.
Suggs, to answer your question directly, I think Mike Evans does return next year. I think he doesn't deserve to have to take a pay cut neither. I think their receiving core is good. Oh yeah, I know. Their receiving core is good. But I think that without Mike Evans on that receiving core is not as good as they are. Because he does draw that attention, he does get those double teams, and he can do absolutely anything you need him to do on the field. Exactly. So I think without Mike Evans, Tampa Bay needs extra help at receiver. So they better keep him, and I wouldn't give him a pay cut. I'll let him stay where he's at.
All right. Let's keep it moving. So, I know this is a crazy question because the Chiefs is loaded with talent, but after that loss, where do they go to? Where do they go from here? Like, do you guys think they need to make some additions to the offensive end? Do you make some additions on the defensive end, or what you guys thoughts about that? We're gonna start with the big dog on this one.
What Kansas City needs to do in the offseason, in my opinion, is really shore up that offensive line, because obviously their second-string players can't hang with the big boys, as they completely proved last night and after having 2 weeks to prepare. So what you do is you get one of those, big guys in the draft. I mean, Andy Reid pulled a great draft last year by drafting the running back out of LSU, but this year, they've got the backs, they've got the offensive weapons. They need, and as Ray was talking about earlier, they need to fatten up that trench now. And if they could get another offensive lineman to go in there with Mitchell Schwartz and the other guy, I'm blanking on his name right now, I think that's what they need to focus on in the offseason, is shearing up the trenches. Because defensively, they're not too bad. They've got a decent defensive line. They could probably add another linebacker, but offensive line would be my first focus if I was the Kansas City general manager.
All right, Jay. What do you think the Chiefs need to do this offseason?
I don't think it's offensive line. I mean, I think their offensive line is. We just saw a battered and bruised offensive line. I think that first thing I would do if I was them is go get somebody to help out Kelsey, man, so he doesn't have to be on the field so much. And then also defense. I think the biggest thing we saw yesterday was how bad their defense is. I think that's what we've been watching all year. That's why Kansas City hasn't been the Kansas City that we're used to seeing. So with that being said, that's where I would head up. I would get that defensive line help. I mean, remember, man, the year before last, they had Ford on that line. They had a couple other guys on that line, and they didn't really replace them. They kind of next man upped it. So that's where I would start.
All right, Ray. Well, what do you think the Chiefs need to do this offseason?
They need to shore up their corners, their defensive side on their corners, and they need to add some pass rush, a little bit more pass rush in that defensive line there. And then they need to put some little bit more speed on that linebacker core so they can match up with that tight end, because Gronkowski killed him. For 67 yards from a tight end point, they had no linebacker who could cover him. That was a mismatch all game. They could have gone to Gronkowski anytime they wanted to in that game. So they need to add some more speed in that linebacker core and add a little bit more pass rushing to get into to Tom Brady. They only had one sack for 6 yards, and then that was it. That was their pass rush was gone. So like you said, they had Ford. Ford was creating a havoc. They need to go back and get somebody like that Ford type of player to create that more havoc in that pass rush. So right now, I think just their defense needs to be shore up. The offensive line is going to be all right because the two guys will be back next year. They'll shore them up, get some, some good more backups to add depth to that. But right now, they need to shore up that defense because they were getting killed.
The only other thing I would add in there that I didn't say would be a more of an every down running back. I think neither one of their guys. I think they're both scat backs. So I would get more of a lugger.
Yeah, I was just about to say they need
Mark Ingram.
Well, Andy Reid, even back in Philadelphia, has always had running back by committee, and he's always had those smaller, speedier running backs, if you look back. So that's unfortunately his style. But, yeah, I do agree with Jay that they should definitely shore that spot up and get someone like a Derrick Henry or someone who could, carry the ball 20, 25 times a game.
We all looking for a Derrick Henry.
That's true.
But I mean,
I got a trade for him they can do to get them that elite running back. All right. Ring, ring, ring. All right, this is the New York Giants. We'll give you Saquon Barkley for Patrick Mahomes. Deal or no deal?
I'm keeping Saquon. I'd rather draft a quarterback this year. I'll keep Saquon any day of the week.
Not for Saquon, not for Patrick Mahomes.
No, I don't know. When Saquon's healthy, he's top 5 in my opinion. And as you can see, that's who I represent right here. So
does it come with a buffer on contract?
That's true. Who knows? Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. Let's get to moving. Let's keep it moving. Man, you talking about greatness. It's tough. I mean, people already said it, but some people say, I'm not ready to give it to him yet. But is Tom Brady the undisputed GOAT? Let's go. I already know Jay in this one. I want to go with Ray. Ray.
In my opinion, Tom Brady is the GOAT in the NFL. But I got my problem with this whole thing is when they go outside the NFL and try to make him the GOAT of everybody's sport. Compare him to Michael Jordan, compare him to a baseball. Totally different sports. You can't compare anybody to that thing. But in the NFL, Tom Brady has the numbers. Tom Brady has the championships. And the two guys I compare him to was Joe Montana and Peyton Manning. He's succeeded both of those. So he is the GOAT of the NFL.
So you don't think he'll surpass Michael Jordan, what you saying?
What I'm saying is he can't surpass somebody from another sport because he didn't play that sport. He plays a physical contact sport. Michael Jordan played basketball. So where are you going to put Tom Brady and let him shoot basketball too and see if he can beat Michael Jordan? Or you can put Michael Jordan on a football field and see if he can outthrow Tom Brady. You can't do that. You can't go from sport to sport. You stay in that sport. He's the NFL GOAT, period. You cannot take him and put him in another sport and consider that as another GOAT because he didn't play that sport.
All right. I got you. Jay, is he the GOAT?
He's the greatest quarterback of all time. Period. And it's not even, man. There's other talented players. There's other players that are way more talented than Tom Brady as far as the quarterback position. There's players in the league right now that are more talented than Tom Brady. But as far as a player, the winning games should be a stat on quarterbacks anyways. It should be like starting pitching. And that's Tom Brady, man. And it's crazy. It's crazy. He picks people apart. He does it every year. You know, playoff Brady, Super Bowl Brady, whatever you want to call him. But he's a different person when them lights come on.
Big dog.
He is the GOAT, and it pains me to say it because I've always, been a big Joe Montana fan growing up. I liked Peyton when Peyton was balling, but yeah, no, he's the GOAT. He's on the Mount Rushmore of the greatest athletes of all time. 7 championships, 10 Super Bowl appearances. It pains me to say it. Although my Giants beat him twice, so at least I have that. But yeah, no, he's the GOAT. There's no denying it. He proved that he can win with another ball club, and he wasn't just a Belichick system quarterback last night. He proved that, and he might do it again next year. He said on the podium last night, "I'm coming back," and if he's got all his toys, he might do it again.
Wait a minute, Big Dog. Are you a Giants fan?
Yeah.
Oh hell!
Why do you think I'm not wearing my hat, man? Come on.
Hey, while you guys are over there celebrating, you know what he described, though, right, Freddie?
Huh?
You know what he described?
Jay.
All the dominance in one decade. He described greatest of all time. Michael Jordan as well. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Jay, that's not one of the topics. Michael Jordan's not the greatest
I'm just saying, domination.
He's not the greatest of all time.
I'm just saying,
Mr. Big Dog. I need to throw a slug at somebody. Throw a shot. Chris Brown, you are in trouble. You are in trouble. You and your Eagles are in trouble. You might not want to show back up to the set no more. Yeah, you might want to keep on rolling. Oh man, I love it. Ray, did I give you a chance to talk? I might have forgot.
Yeah, you gave me a chance to talk.
Did everybody talk about this conversation?
Yes, we shall.
Yes, we did.
Yep.
All right, cool. Yeah, Tom Brady is the GOAT, man. I mean, look, this dude is 43 years old, still playing football. I mean, do people realize how hard that is? Like that's crazy.
I gotta start eating some avocado ice cream like Tom Brady now, man. I'm telling you.
It's crazy. He's not mobile, and he's playing at 43.
He don't even move, man.
He doesn't.
The fastest he ran yesterday was a catch up to Tyrann Mathieu.
Yeah, that was crazy. All right, let's move on to the next topic. We're done with the Super Bowl. We're going to a team. I don't know why they call America's team when they have a quarterback that have 2 more Super Bowls than them. They call themselves the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know why, but yeah, we all shaking the head with them pathetic Cowboys. I mean, I can go on all day long and insult them, but
the Cowboys?
Yes, the Cowboys.
Cowboys?
Yeah, the Cowboys. I mean, of all people, they have a quarterback who was hurt last year, but hey, he's a talented young quarterback. But the Cowboys still seem like they don't want to pay the man. Like they're still not sure if this Dak Prescott is a part of their future. Big Dog, do you think the Cowboys should pay Dak Prescott?
I don't know where else they could go. I don't know where they're going to get a quarterback who's going to be able to run that offense like Dak. Dak was starting to really click up to when he got hurt against the Giants. The offense was starting to click. He was starting to score. It was really starting to work under McCarthy, and then he got hurt. That kind of injury is tough to come back from. I don't know how you give him that kind of money, but I don't know who else they're going to sign. I mean, Andy Dalton's not the answer. I think they draft like 10th or 11th. I can't remember. If they want to go for one of the quarterbacks in the first round, maybe. But with that injury, even that, I mean, I don't know where else they can go to get that star quarterback. But that's a lot of money that Dak is asking for, and I don't know if he's worth it. I really, really don't.
Ray, would you pay Dak Prescott if you was Jerry Jones?
I'll pay him, but I'll make it put his money in incentives. You got to meet these criteria to get this part of the money. You got to meet this. You got to meet getting us into the playoffs. Get you this amount of money. I would say the incentive based, but it's got to be based on how many games he's played. Because I mean, he started all 16 games, and this year was a season injury. Played 5 games, but I mean, his numbers are there. I mean, his touchdown to turnover ratio is 106 touchdowns to 40. That's a good ratio right there. I mean, he's a good starting quarterback, but like I said, you come in from an injury that you don't know if he's going to fully come back, if he's going to lose a step. So you set his contract up as incentive base. But when he comes back, he's going to be asking for that money. And if I was Cowboys, I would either sign him and trade him, get something for him, or I just pay him what you think he's the value of, and then set the rest of it into incentive type play for him to complete a game, complete the season, playoffs, how far you go into playoffs. I mean, they done it before in the NFL. And that's what I think Jerry Jones should do.
Jay.
So the Cowboys are in a very, 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 very bad spot. Everybody was talking about this last year. They were saying, they shouldn't make him. They should pay him, man. Look at what he's done. And if they would have paid this man, he would have been somewhere in the area of $35 to $45 million a season. And his first season, he would have spent on the bench. So now he's coming back from this injury. We don't know what he's going to look like. I'm agreeing with the Cowboys. You got to keep Andy Dalton. And if you don't keep Andy Dalton, you got to use that draft pick or at least a second rounder to go get another quarterback. That's a lot of money to invest on somebody you're unsure of. You were unsure of him before the injury.
Exactly.
Are you done?
I mean, it doesn't sound like I'm going to be, but go ahead.
No, if you're not done, keep going.
No, go ahead, because I know I can see where this is going. Go ahead.
Yeah, I hate that you make me come on national air to defend a Cowboy. I mean, I just hate that idea. Listen, gentlemen, listen. I'm about tired of the disrespect that's been going towards Dak Prescott. This dude has been a leader of the Dallas Cowboys team ever since he came there. The dude, out of 1 year, this is the first time that he's missed games. Other than that, the dude don't miss games. The dude he's at practice. He's the leader. He have done everything like everybody else have done. And they have got paid. Carson's done the same thing. Carson Wentz have done. Put up good numbers, lead a team to the playoffs. Carson Wentz got paid, and hey, nobody questions should Carson Wentz get paid. So if I'm Dak Prescott, I'm like, hey, why can't I get paid? You see the Cowboys overpaid a running back of Ezekiel Elliott? Yes, he's overpaid because guess what? I bet they wish they'd give him a bigger contract now. When you look at a contract that they got Christian McCaffrey on, and
Panthers.
I'm sorry, I had a brain fart. And then if you look at the contract they gave DeMarcus Lawrence, James Smith, and all them boys, you see the contract they gave Amari Cooper. He's like, you know what? You overpaying for everybody else. Why can't I get overpaid? I'm the leader of this. I'm the one that's going to move the ball. And as we've seen this year with Andy Dalton under the ball with the at the quarterback position, that he was not able to make plays.
He has a winning record. He had a winning record this year. He did. Andy Dalton had a winning season.
Where did he get him, Jay?
What?
Where did he get them?
Out of nowhere.
Because Dak Prescott had already messed it up.
They're
already doing bad. Hold on. Now the other thing is, you said they overpaid for who?
They overpaid for Ezekiel Elliott.
Then they got Maury still, right?
Yes, but he don't show up in the big games.
So they got to pay him. So now they're already looking at the definition is insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So every time we paid Ezekiel, what happened? Ezekiel was doing great. He signed that pen. He must right when he signed it, the ink must make all his feet stop working.
So if I'm Dak Prescott, I'm like, why can't you pay me? You don't pay for everybody else.
But this is about the Cowboys, right? the Cowboys are right in their thought to be very skeptical about
But
paying.
you know what? If I'm Dak Prescott, you know what? All right, cool. You know what? You going to sign me this
You
little
go ahead and do that.
tag?
You know where you're going. You know
And then
where
the
that's
next year
going.
I'm going somewhere else that's going to appreciate me. I'm pretty sure Chicago Bears team will pay him. I'm
They ain't
pretty
about to pay
sure.
him that. Chicago ain't got that. They ain't about to pay him that. You know where he's gonna be at? He's gonna be in the Jets.
Hey, guess what?
gonna
They pay him. Guess what?
He's
They
gonna
pay
be
him.
down there. He gonna be somewhere like that, man.
And guess what they're gonna pay him? The Cowboys ain't gonna do nothing either. So it's gonna be the same situation.
I mean, he got a better chance and a better fan base.
The Cowboys will never have a chance to go to the Super Bowl.
Look,
So never.
Wow, Prescott to the Jets. That's a bold statement. Wow.
He goes to the Washington
if he
football
walks-
team or something like that.
If he walks, think about it.
Now, if he walks,
going.
if he walks, he could go to Washington football team, go back and beat the Cowboys up and down the field, and tell Jones what he thinks about him. I mean, that's some revenge thing right there. He could go to because Washington is looking for a quarterback. Hey, I guarantee they'll pay him.
But they got Smith under contract till 23, and he's making 24 a year. That's what I'm saying. I'm looking at financially. Financially, it makes sense. The Jets can just come out and snag him right off the back. The Colts too, but I don't think the Colts have that bag.
And guess what? I wouldn't, I'm just going to say this just to piss this individual off. If it was possible, it might not be possible because of money. The Philadelphia Eagles should go out to pick up Dak Prescott.
The Eagles will drop the whole bank load on that just to make a statement and keep Carson Wentz.
Man,
That'd be kind of hard.
They figure it out. They have Carson sit right.
I'm just saying, Jay, the dude is worth the money. I mean, we can't keep disrespecting the dude like this. Yes, he is. He's done everything that Carson Wentz ever got paid. What have Jared Goff done? What has Jimmy Garoppolo done to get paid? What? Tell me, what have they done?
But I'm gonna ask you this one question.
I'm
gonna ask you this one question. You're in that division. Don't they got the best tools?
Who do the Cowboys?
Don't they got the best tool bag?
Yeah.
But they need to pick up. They need to pick up some more offensive linemen.
And they ain't going to play out consistently.
Well,
but it's not all on him. You still have the defense to worry about, Jay.
The defense ain't what's been messing them up, man.
This year it was.
It's been they offense dying in bad, not showing up in the actual prime time moments.
Not there. The defense was horrible.
That's because they went out and got a big tool bag. You can't have crazy tool. Like, come on, man. There's only enough room to go around. They gave him a tool bag. It's an offense and push team. That's what they're looking for. He's driving the boat into the ocean. He's not driving the boat across the finish line.
Well, at the end of the day, if I'm Dak Prescott, get your money, get paid, because this injury gonna make it worse. Because he said, you know what? If I don't get paid and I go out there another year, hey, I can get hurt and risk my career. So guess what? That money not going down. It's going up, if anything. And you see cats out there getting paid. Woo-hoo. Man, I'm telling you.
I'd be scared if I was the Dallas Cowboys too, man.
Well, I mean, let's ask the question on a serious note. What does the Cowboys have to lose? I mean, they're not doing nothing. What?
Tied up, Amari. They've already tied up Ezekiel.
Jay, what do they have to lose? The Cowboys ain't going nowhere.
I understand. I don't like the team anyway. However,
they ain't going nowhere. They ain't winning no Super Bowl. I mean, so why not? That's all I'm saying. But let's we got something to say, Big Dog?
It's just a tough decision because I just the Cowboys always have to have that big name quarterback. So I just, as much as it pains me to say, I mean, I think they're gonna have to sign him just because there's nowhere else to go. There's nowhere else to go. I don't see Jerry Jones drafting a quarterback and making him a starter. After this year, I just can't see that. Ray said it before. They need to shore up that offensive line, and I mean they're going to end up probably having to pay Dak. Maybe they'll renegotiate. Maybe Dak will back down because of the injury and take less money or something like that. But
they can always call Nick Foles.
They could always call Nick Foles. Exactly. Why not?
They're not the Eagles. The Eagles need Nick Foles. That's the quarterback the Eagles should go after.
It's Nick Foles. Right.
Every time he plays,
Super Bowl.
Exactly. Every time he played for Philadelphia, he turned their franchise around. Chris Brown don't want to hear that. But man, I wish Chris Brown was on the show because y'all would have seen this dude get all mad and get the puffing and take the glasses off and everything. Yeah, I can't wait to Thursday. I can't wait to Thursday. But let's talk about his Philadelphia Eagles. How about that? It's just crazy that that was a part of our topics. Right after that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Over the weekend, there was a report that there should be a Carson Wentz trade pretty soon. One report said, the Bears. One report said the Colts. But who should trade for Carson Wentz? We'll go with Jay on this one.
Not the Bears. They haven't had a first round draft pick in I don't know how long. They need to store some away. You know what I mean? They need to hold on to a couple. I think they have enough issues with quarterbacks to be bringing in another issued quarterback and spending as much money. They want a Stafford package? That sounded too much like a stimulus package. No, they want a Stafford package? We going no. So I think it's the Colts. If out of those two, I would go with the Colts, man. Because I know they wouldn't trade him in the division because Washington sure could use him.
Okay. All right, Ray. Who should trade for Carson Wentz? Hey, even if there's another team outside of the Colts and the Bears that you think that need him, who do you think should make the trade?
New England Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
New England Patriots. They need a quarterback. Cam Newton ain't coming back next year, so they need a quarterback. So Belichick's known for making these kind of deals. And the only problem with Carson Wentz is when you trade for him, you got to bring that big contract with him over there. And if you can get Philadelphia to buy out, pay a little bit of it and give them a little leeway there. But Philadelphia's not going to do that. Philadelphia's going to make somebody take the whole entire contract. And who's going to take that contract? So I look at him, he's probably going to end up staying in Philadelphia. That might be a good thing for Philadelphia because that'll give Jalen Hurts some competition. It could hurt.
It's going to be a trade.
It ain't going to be a trade. I don't think Carson Wentz is going to go anywhere with that contract. Ain't no team's going to really take that contract unless New England does. And then if New England does that, they got to get rid of a lot of their players. So they got to pick up players cheap.
Well, that's one thing, the Patriots are not doing. They don't like to pay a lot of guys over there. You hear a lot of guys say, that's one thing, one big downfall on Belichick being the GM, but he don't pay a lot of his players. Big Dog, where should Carson Wentz go?
Well, the New England theory is good in a sense, but yeah, they're definitely not going to pay him. I could see him going to San Francisco. San Francisco is fed up with Jimmy G. What about if they just trade straight up Jimmy G for Wentz, contract for contract? They're both making about the same amount of money. So you flip those two guys, put them in two different situations. I think Carson Wentz could really work in Shanahan's system. Indianapolis as well, but I could see him really flourishing in that San Francisco system with that tight end they've got, those receivers they've got out in Frisco, with what's his name, with Bosa coming back on New Orleans, and I'm San Francisco on the defensive end. Straight up, Jimmy G, Carson Wentz, boom. No salary problems. Change the scenery for both of them.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I like the nodding of the head, boys. I like that.
Yeah, if Philadelphia was to do that, though, that'd be a total cop-out on Jalen Hurts. That'd be a total cop-out on Jalen Hurts. So the morale and giving up on Jalen that early, even if
I don't think they give up on Jalen.
No, even if they're not planning on it, mentally for Jalen, he got to be like.
Well, I don't know. I don't think Jimmy G has truly proved himself as a secure starter. So they might have him as to back up Jalen because, with Jalen's skill set, they might build that offense around Jalen. Oh, I know it's about the money, but hey, they bench Carson. Why wouldn't they flip it and have Jimmy G ride the bench and let Jalen try to play? Because Jimmy can't stay healthy, as we all know.
All right, I got one. I got an idea. Carson Wentz, once upon a time was an MVP of the league. When they won the year they won the Super Bowl. there's an MVP, a player that is just as good as Patrick Mahomes in my eyes, but not as he's not as good. But it's like Patrick Mahomes right here and Deshaun Watson's right here. On the Eagles, I'm trading Deshaun Watson, Carson Wentz to the Houston Texans. I'm putting draft picks with the Wentz. I'm doing everything I can bring with Wentz to get a Deshaun Watson. Man, people around the league, I hear on all the ESPN, the Fox, all these guys talking, being disrespectful to Deshaun Watson, talking about why should he leave, and just being disrespectful. Like, yo, man, like this dude is Deshaun freaking Watson. We seen what he did when he had a DeAndre Hopkins, but they took him away this year, and guess what he did? He won off. I mean, this dude went off, had the most passing yards. He just went off, and we seen what this dude can do without a no-name receivers. So, I mean, there should be about 20 different teams calling the Houston Texans saying, hey, what do you want from my team so I can get my hands on Deshaun Watson? Deshaun Watson, this type of quarterback at his age is not available like this often. So when he's available, you need to make the call to get him.
What was the Philadelphia's the last big free agent signing?
If I had to guess, maybe a receiver in Deshaun Jackson. I had to guess.
I can't remember.
Okay, so my point about that is they're a very good. They're a very good drafting team.
Who?
Philadelphia.
Are you sure? Because they missed messed up on Jefferson.
Okay, then tell me again.
And a DK Metcalf.
Who was their biggest recent free agent signing then? Tell me. Because they would have to get talent from somewhere if they're not getting it from the draft.
Well, I've heard a lot of Philadelphia Eagles fans complain about the draft. I heard Chris Brown come over here and complain about his new candidate.
You got to understand, though, doinking a first-round pick is different than doinking a draft. Doinking a first-round pick, you may not have got that one guy. It was a big, high-profile pick, a lot of pressure. 2 through 7, though, is where you put your depth in your team and you make long-term progress. You know, NFL, I mean, they don't have a farm system. So, rounds 4 through 7 are kind of like the farm system, man. And you can see that with New England. You can see that Bruce and Kine were very good at, pairing that stuff together. So I think that Philadelphia is priced out of that Deshaun Watson market. They're looking for 3 to 4 first-round picks and, a second or a third.
I understand that, but there should be teams out there like your Arizona Cardinals. Like your Arizona Cardinals, even though you got a Kyler Murray, you still should be making the phone call about a Deshaun Watson.
I'll make the phone call, but we ain't giving up no more than 2 first-round picks. We just picked up – that's a first-round. And we got rid of Josh Rosen. That was another
I understand that, but when you have a Deshaun Watson available, you need to make the phone call to see what you can do to get your hands on him.
Hey, that's a good idea, but you got to get Deshaun Watson to buy in off because he's got that no-clause trade clause in his contract. If he don't want to go to the teams – if he don't want to go to their team, he ain't gonna get him. You're not gonna get him.
If he can go to the Cardinals, or the Cardinals say, "Hey, we'll do a trade," we'll sign off on that.
Hey, Deshaun Watson's already came out and said he's prepared to set up for 7 years.
Hey.
His body's gonna be resting. He is tended to get out of Houston, but he's telling the will out his no-clause trade. He wants to go to the Dolphins. He wants to go to the Jets. That's the 2 teams he wants to go to. And that's what he's sticking with.
I guarantee you this. If DeAndre Hopkins said, "Hey, bro, come on over here with me and Larry, come on over here,"
he'll be on the plane tonight.
Hey, he'll be flying over there right now.
Hey, and I agree with you. I 100%. I like to agree with you, but I agree with you. If they made the call, Kyler's gone. Do it. Is it smart? No.
It is smart, Jay. What are you talking about? Deshaun Watson is the one, like, you don't get this quarterback up for free often, man. Like, no.
Not for free. We're giving up our future.
And guess what? If I'm the Jets, guess what? The Jaguars, guess what? I would trade the number 1 pick to get a Deshaun Watson. Why? Because you know what he is. We don't know what Trevor Lawrence is going to be in the NFL. The NFL and college is 2 different things. We know what Deshaun Watson is. But I understand racing about the no trade clause, but I'm just saying there should be more teams calling and get after about this man. That's all
Right.
I'm saying.
Well, you said about the NFL not having a minor league. I think Alabama and Ohio State are kind of like the minor leagues for the NFL at this point because look how many ball players they're putting in the league each year.
LSU too.
LSU, yeah, that's true. And Florida sometimes too.
All
Yeah,
right,
man.
all right, you got something to say, Jack?
No.
All right, gentlemen, let's go on and get off football. Man, it's getting heated in here for for a Monday, and it's in the wintertime down here. Fuck, man, that's that real talk.
It's 78 degrees in Florida today, so I'm not complaining.
There you go. Hey, there's gonna be snowing this time where I live at. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All right, let's start. Let's just hit it up with the NBA. You know, we've called. You know, even though with the Super Bowl, there's still been an NBA playing. This is how we start real talk at the beginning of each week. We're going to cover the top 5 teams. All right. You know what? I'm gonna let Jay go first on this one. And you know what? I'm gonna just tell you. You know, this is a grading process for the 3 of you guys. I'm grading you hard on this one to see what team you have in your top 5 and where you have it out of your top 5. So make sure you guys pass this test. All right, Jay, let's go.
Man. So top 5 right now. I have the Lakers sitting at number 1. Even though they're not number 1 in the West technically at the moment, and I know you're gonna like that. But I have the Lakers sitting at number 1 just because I've been seeing them, and to me they haven't been playing as well as I would expect, and because of that, that's what's scary to me. For them to be second place and still look like they need to improve, and Anthony Davis not playing as good as he should be, he can easily elevate his game. So I got the Lakers number 1. Surprisingly, man, these Utah Jazz are right there, but I'm gonna put Utah at 3 because I still don't believe in them. I'm gonna put Philadelphia at 2. Now these bottom 2, the 4 and 5 spot, it's really 3 teams I'm toggling between. The Nets, the Bucks, and the Clippers. The Clippers should be 4th, but I'm gonna slide them to 6 for the purpose of this situation. I think the Nets sitting at 6 at the moment, sitting right outside that little marker, are the most dangerous team right now in the NBA. Everybody was talking about, do they know if they were going to work? They're going to dribble too much. It's not going to work. Kyrie is fitting in. He's scoring. He's a scoring machine. He's being able to actually thrive in that role. And James Harden's leading the league in assists. So this team right here is, to me, the most dangerous team in the NBA. Period. The firepower is there.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't worry. I'll fire back at Jay in a few minutes, but I'm gonna let Ray and Big Dog give their thoughts. Ray, give us your top 5 teams in the NBA right now.
Well, I always go with the defending champion until somebody can knock him off that pedestal. So the Lakers will be number 1. They still have Anthony Davis and LeBron James, but they will have to get a bench. I mean, they're not going to be able to keep playing Anthony Davis this kind of minutes and stuff like that during the regular season and get him wore out. This is going to be a different NBA tournament this year because they're not in the bubble where they don't have to travel. This year they're going to be traveling. So you got to have Anthony Davis in play. Number 2, I'm going with the Brooklyn Nets because I think the Brooklyn Nets are going to get their stuff straight after the All-Star game. And it takes a while for a team to get all their nucleus right. The NBA's got a little ways to go, but I think them 2 are going to come in. Then I got the Los Angeles Clippers at number 3. I don't believe in the Utah Jazz because they're doing good right now, but after the All-Star they could be filtering off. I mean, teams peak too early, and right now in the NBA you don't want to peak too early. In the All-Star, before the All-Star game is too early. After the All-Star game is
it's the time to peak.
It's your measuring stick. After the Clippers, they go with the Philadelphia 76ers. The only reason I picked the Philadelphia 76ers is because they got great defense, and MB is going to be a problem for people to guard. He's like an Anthony Davis type, maybe a little bit better I mean, if you look at the Lakers in the 76ers game, it made Anthony Davis look like a fool falling down on the ground with them dribble. I mean, Anthony Davis used to play guard. So he got trampled by a true center in an aspect the way he was falling down to the ground. And then my fifth team is the Milwaukee Bucks because they got Giannis, but they need somebody else to help them. Now, they can move up in that standing if they pull the big trade deal, getting Bradley Beal to help out. But right now, Giannis, he doesn't have any help.
Holiday's doing his thing, though. I like what Holiday's doing.
He is.
Big dog, please.
And hold up. Let me tell you this right here. On February 18th, this is where Brooklyn is going to show off because they play the Lakers in LA on February 18th.
Big dog, please.
That's gonna be the breakout game right there. That's gonna be the breakout
10
game.
days, Freddie.
That's the breakout game right there for the Brooklyn Nets. If they can beat them in LA, that's the breakout game right there.
You just go ahead and start shooting right now, Freddie. Just go ahead. I can see
Big
it.
dog, please educate them, please.
Well, it pains me to say it. We're still living in LeBron's world, so the Lakers are definitely number one. I put Utah at 2, and the reason I put Utah at 2 is I think Donovan Mitchell is for real. That kid is balling. He's got game, and I just don't think he's going to be stopped. I think Utah is peaking, and I think they're going to keep on peaking. I've got Brooklyn at 3, and I put them reluctantly at 3 because as much as they can score, they got to shore up that defense because, as we know, when it comes down to playoff time, you got to play defense, and teams improved it over and over again. You could score as many points as you want in the playoffs, but if you can't lock down that defense, that's going to be a big thing. I've got the Clippers at 4. I think the twosome over there is really starting to gel a lot better. Lou Williams coming off the bench is definitely an asset that they have, and I think they're going to learn a lot from what happened in last year's playoffs, as well as I think Tyronn Lue is a little better coach for that team than Rivers was. I've got where am I? 4 now? 4 or am I at 5?
Yeah.
I'm at 5. Okay, 5. I've got reluctantly. I've got a kind of a tie between Milwaukee and Philadelphia. I really don't trust either team. I know Giannis is a baller, but what he did in the playoffs last year really lost confidence in me. And Holiday is playing lights out, but I just don't think their big three can match up. And I've got them tied with the 76ers because Embiid is a player, but to me, I don't know. I just don't trust Doc Rivers when it comes down to it. I really don't. He had that one good year with Boston, but to me, I just don't trust Doc Rivers.
All right, gentlemen. Number 1. The Los Angeles Lakers. The best.
Are we in trouble now?
Number 1, the Los Angeles Lakers, the best basketball team in basketball. It's not even close. I mean, you're talking about LeBron James at the year 18, 36 years old, shooting the ball, the three-point shooter, best of his career, 41%. They still give you 25, 7, and 8. And then Anthony Davis, hey, even though he's averaging 20-some points, but he still have not woke up yet. But after the All-Star break, when Anthony Davis come out here, he's gonna show everybody who the hell he is. He's gonna show everybody at this network who he is that don't have him in his top 10 list. He's gonna show y'all who he is, why Anthony Davis is the best power forward in basketball. And then you talk about, Ray, I don't understand what you said. They need a bench. Do you realize that? They have one of the best benches in basketball. They do have Montrezl Harrell coming off the bench. You have Kyle Kuzma. You do have these cats coming to scoring off the bench. So the bench is not a problem at all, sir. So let's be respectful on that. Then you have Dennis Schroeder. You have Montrezl Harrell, and I do believe Marcus Gasol in the playoffs will be on a contribution. He said, I don't care about the regular season. If you see, he's like 4th rating and the big man on the defensive side. Hey, and guess what? Frank Vogel did not want him to be an offensive threat. He said it the other night. He said the only thing he want Marcus Gasol to do is be a good defender, be a facilitator, and that's what he want him to be. So this Laker team, I believe they're not. And then guess what? Who we have? Like, have you heard of the Dynamite? We got a THT Tucker. You see that kid Tucker? That dude, he's
He's
special.
inconsistent. Tucker's inconsistent.
He's inconsistent.
He's inconsistent. He's off and on. He's off and on.
I've seen
He's
him.
not consistent every night.
I've
And Montel Harris, he's not consistent every night either.
I've seen him too many times
No.
in the big moments. Tucker, he come up to the big time. You seen him against the Nuggets, what he did the other night.
What did he do against the 76ers?
Well, you know what happened to 76? Because what the
What happened
Lakers,
to 76ers? What happened to Montel Harris against the 76ers?
the Lakers don't wake up in the season to play nobody. You know why? Because we're
Um,
the champions. We're the champions. We're the defending champions. They don't care about this regular season. You judge us.
If
for
that
the
wasn't the
season.
most copper plea and find a way out of
Hey,
the
hold up.
situation
Hold up. You said you don't care about the regular season?
No.
Michael Jordan cared about the regular season.
Oh,
Look what he
that's
did.
what I was about to get at, man.
And
What are
guess
you-
what?
What are you talking about? Michael Jordan played every single game like it was his last.
Right. Guess what? In 10 days, you think that's a big game for the Lakers? No.
You think that
Hey.
would work?
Big
You
game.
think that would work if Kobe was in the locker room?
No.
Jay, what I'm saying is,
He would grab LeBron's name tag and put it in his car.
Jay, what
Go
I'm
home.
saying is, we don't care about regular season because you know why? We know
I heard
we're
what you
gonna
said.
We gonna be in the postseason already. That's when you go judge us. That's
No,
when you go get our best
you
match.
sideswiping the vehicle right now. Don't try to push this out the way.
Yeah.
This is not about you being in the playoffs. This ain't about being in the playoffs.
Yes, it is.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't. This is about dominance. When all the greats dominated, they dominated. What was Jordan? What was it? 72 wins?
Yep.
What was
But-
that? What was that Curry season that they was dominating? What was it like?
70.
What happened in the
70.
postseason? when
No,
he
there was a
did
little
it?
bit more. There was
73 or
77.
something?
What happened in the postseason when that Golden State Warriors team did it?
I get what you're saying, man. But listen, he is not a lion. I be trying to tell you. That's why he goes.
Well,
against Anthony
well,
Davis.
you can't lie, boy.
Hey,
That's
hold up.
why he
Hold up.
goes wild.
That year that you're talking about what happened to Golden State is because that Green got kicked out that cost him that series. If Green never got kicked out, that series would have been
Why
swept.
did he get kicked out? Why did he get kicked out?
Because LeBron kept running his mouth at him, so he went back at
Exactly.
LeBron.
He gotta stand up and say, "You know what? I want you out the game," and he got him out the game.
LeBron's
LeBron's
like-
like referees a Bitcoin present. That's what
Yeah.
happened.
Referee, LeBron cries more to the referees than anybody. Anybody.
Listen,
You
listen,
can touch
And he
him with a
invites him
pinky,
over for
he
dinner
cries.
afterwards.
listen. You guys want to sit up and hate greatness? You can't hate greatness. You gotta respect it. This dude coming 18 seasons, putting on the work that y'all wish y'all go. Michael Jordan would have did.
Hold up.
No,
You said
no,
18
no.
season? Michael Jordan didn't have to do that in 18 season. Michael Jordan did it. He played 4 years. He played 3 years in college at Carolina. Then he came into the NBA and still did what he did. And LeBron has not done anything. He has not matched his scoring. He has not matched his scoring leader.
You're right. He overtook
You know,
it.
it's good. No, he didn't.
He overtook it. He
Michael
passed.
Jordan led the league in scoring 10 years, 10 straight years. 10 straight years in the league in scoring.
Facts.
Well, I gotta ask
Hey,
you a question.
hey, what's LeBron?
Facts.
Look, is LeBron undefeated in the finals? Michael Jordan is 6-0.
LeBron don't have undefeated on his name.
Hey, Michael Jordan.
Hey,
was in
How,
finals.
how many times Michael Jordan? Hold up,
in the 10
hold
finals.
up. Hey, look, hold up.
He
How
didn't
many-
need to go to 10 finals.
How many
If Michael
times?
Jordan went to 10 finals, more people would be
Hey,
without finals.
hold up.
If he didn't
I got- I
retire
got a-
those 3 years, he
I got
would have
a
went to
question.
10 finals.
I got a question for you. Has Michael Jordan ever played a game 7 in the NBA finals? Yes
No.
or no? How many
No.
has LeBron played? How many has LeBron lost?
But let me ask
In
you
game
a
7.
question. Did Michael Jordan go to the? I don't know how we got on Michael Jordan conversation, by the
I'm
way.
just telling
It's
you.
always
Because
Michael
you-
Jordan.
Because you stopped on your list of 5.
Yeah.
You stopped at the Lakers.
Let me ask you.
You didn't continue going.
I'm not. I was not continue going until y'all stop
You
me.
weren't trying to go.
But,
nowhere.
Hey, look.
Michael Jordan go to the championship? Did Michael Jordan go to the championship without Scottie Pippen? Yes or no? No. Exactly. My point proved.
So
Point-
you-
Hey, hold
So
up.
what you're
Did Michael
telling me
Jordan?
is-
Hey, look. Did Michael Jordan have to go to another team to win his first NBA title? Did Michael Jordan have to go to another team to keep him winning?
You ain't getting away with that.
Michael Jordan played with the Chicago Bulls all his championship years.
Right. You ain't going that
And
way.
if you want to talk about why he went to Washington Wizards to get the
My
Washington
friend,
Wizards out of the red.
Hey, they didn't even make a major free agent signing until Horace Grant.
Jay, Jay, listen. Was Michael Jordan ever with an organization that did not want him, did not want to bring in help? No. So there is a difference.
Did you say they did
Oh,
not
hold
want
up.
to bring him
Hey,
help?
hold on. How many times has Michael Jordan tell the front office what they do, how to do? LeBron has gone to the front office and tell them, you don't get these players, I'm leaving.
Exactly.
LeBron
And guess what? When he be the GM, they win championships.
Hey,
every year.
LeBron wrote a book called My Career, and it's already written, and he's playing it out, and we just watching it.
Now let me continue
He
my
already
top
printed the
five.
book out. It's
Zip it.
already on shelves in the stores, and we're just watching him play this book out.
Let
That's all
me
that's going
let
on
me
here.
continue my top five. So
All
I
right,
have,
please. What
I have number one the Lakers.
Darn Lakers.
Number two, I had a Utah Jazz. Man, you gotta respect what this Jazz team is doing. They have like 6 guys averaging double figures. You know, I understand what you guys are saying. You know, you don't know how Al Starbird. I understand that. But, you know, I do agree. You know, Rudy Gobert got overpaid. You know, he got overpaid, you know. But, hey, it's everybody. There's a lot of people getting overpaid in the NBA. And then number 3, I got to go with the Philadelphia 76ers. What they were able to do with Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid. Doc Rivers finally got Joel Embiid, his big behind in the post. You know, he's in the post. He's unstoppable. He's not shooting as many threes as he was. He's, you know, so he's being dominant on that end. So number 3. Number 4, I have to go. Man, I got to go with the as much as it pains me to do this, I got to go with the Clippers. You know, the Clippers have showed out. You know, they played good in the regular season. You know, this is what they do. We all know in the postseason they will not show up. Paul George will go back to Pandemic P in the playoffs. We already know what he do. So
Another Laker plug.
Let's be legit. Number 5, I have the Milwaukee Bucks because of, you know, Giannis Antetokounmpo, with him and them, you know, him and the guys. So,
yeah, I definitely agree.
But I'm not done yet, Jay. I'm not done here because I gotta respond to your little Brooklyn Nets. They're not my top 5. They're not my top 5 at all. You know, you guys are a little bit too high on the Brooklyn Nets. Okay, they're okay.
Explain.
They're okay offensive. They're the best offensive team ever. Okay, we've not seen these 3 type of guys on the court at the same time ever. Okay, let's just face it. But these guys play no defense. So win a championship, you need to play some defense. And then Ray talking about the Lakers need a bench. Hello. What does the bench? What does the Brooklyn Nets need? They need the whole doggone bench. They have no depth at all. You have Kevin Durant, who had an Achilles injury, come back out there playing the minutes that he's playing. Oh, please. And then we know Kyrie Irving is a baller. But guess what? He wasn't okay being a second fiddle to LeBron. Are we sure down the road in the season he's going to be okay being the third hand to the band? No, he's not. How do we know that Kyrie Irving's not going to go missing in action again during the season? We don't know that. How do you stop it? This is too much Steve Nash. And then you're talking about James Harden. That eventually this is coming. Who's going to take the last shot? Right now it's peaches and cream.
Whoever has the ball.
But when it gets tough, it's going to get hard.
That's the dynamic of his team. They don't care if it's Durant. They don't care if it's Kyrie. They don't care if it's Harden. At this point, Joe Ingles can take Joe Harris can take the darn shot. Because Joe Harris right now is shooting lights out.
That's right now, Jay. So what's going to happen in months down the road when they're playing a legit team, and then eventually it's going to come. It's going to be a headache.
You know how much easier it is to take a shot when they've taken all the pressure away from you? Joe Harris is sitting out there, dude, just chilling. He's taking shots.
Kyrie got to give him the ball. Harden got to give him the ball. KD got to give him the ball.
Harden's leading the league in assists.
Right now, Jay, but when I'm talking about when the playoffs come, when them guys want to prove, say, hey, I can do this. If I'm a James Harden, say, you know, I've been accused not able to close in recent years. I'm gonna show you I can close. And when he don't come up clutch, then that's gonna be the reason why this team will not.
You know what? You guys need to stop bagging on Harden like this. Remember, Harden had Chris Paul. Wasn't a problem. Chris Paul held the ball, dribbled the ball all day long. Chris Paul don't even like
Jay.
He don't even. Chris Paul don't even like to shoot the basketball. He would
That
rather
was
dribble.
win, Dre, with Chris Paul. He didn't get hurt. What are you talking about?
Listen, so every team that doesn't win a championship is a failure?
Repeat that question.
Every team that doesn't win a championship is a failure?
No, every team like this that don't win a championship is a failure.
There's only one
Teams that
champion a
stack
year,
the
man.
deck. If you stack the deck like, you know what? I wish people would treat LeBron like we treat these other cats that do not win, that stack the deck.
And that's what I was hoping
Oh,
for.
hold up.
I was
Hold up.
hoping for that.
Hey, did
No,
LeBron didn't win the first year when he went to Miami?
And guess what? Everybody jumped all up on him too.
Did he win the
No.
first year in Miami?
And guess
No.
what? They jumped all up
No.
on him too, Ray. That's what I'm
No.
saying. But this team don't win. I want them jumping on Kevin Durant like they jumped on LeBron James. That's
Hey.
what I'm saying.
Ray, you're on to something because they didn't jump on LeBron like that.
They
Because
did
no one had
too,
ever
Ray.
seen. No one had ever seen. We were tripping off the fact that there was a super team made like that. We weren't used to that at that time. That was like, oh my God, here's Batman on the basketball court. What just happened here? Now, when
Jay,
lost,
they
we expected
criticized
them to lose.
LeBron like crazy.
We
They
expected
did. They
them
were
to
on
lose.
him. No, I live down here. They were on him so much, man. LeBron got so much pressure down here in South Florida, man. It was crazy that first year.
It may be in Florida. Yeah, if he came to my team, yeah, my team. But as far as the whole media and whole, we weren't on him like that. We expected them not to win that first.
You know what? LeBron is held to a category that no other superstar ever have been. I mean, when does it come where he comes to respect comes to him? I mean,
Allen Iverson was criticized way more than
you
him.
know, you guys put him on so much other level, so you got to do this, LeBron. You got to do this. You got to do it. And guess what? When he do it, y'all don't want to give him credit.
You know what? LeBron's a great marketer. LeBron is a great marketer because he created this storm. LeBron, this is what LeBron wanted. You remember there was an interview LeBron did right before he left Cleveland where he said, as far as basketball, he wants to obviously win championships, go down as one of the greatest, but he wants to be a world icon. He created these storms. Look at the way he did the revealing of the free agency when he went to Miami. Look how he revealed it. He made a
With the
freaking talk
ESPN.
show.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Well, LeBron's all about the drama. We all know that.
Yeah. So don't tell me about his criticism.
But
He
Jay,
created this storm.
what I'm saying is, if this Nets team did not win a championship, I want the media, I want the fans, everybody to jump on this team like they would if LeBron didn't win in LA. Because listen, I'm gonna tell
They're
you,
gonna win
as a
one.
Laker fan, if LeBron did not win this championship last year, did not win when he was in LA, you best believe he was gonna be criticized. You best believe that Lakers fan was gonna call this dude out. So I want the same smoke with the Brooklyn Nets if they don't win. That's all I'm saying.
They're gonna win one together.
All right,
not gonna be
this
this
is good.
It's not gonna be this year though.
No, definitely not.
No. It takes a year for a team to get really gelled together.
And we
And look
expected that
at
with Miami.
LeBron in Miami. They had a gel. They
Yep.
didn't win their first year.
So did everybody give the top five? I didn't
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, got
Lakers
heated up
side,
in here.
yeah.
You know, I love to see the energy, Ray, and Big Dog. I love it, man. I love it. Man, got my veins popping and everything. That's cool.
Been drinking that LeBron juice, man.
Man,
Everybody don't drink LeBron juice, man.
You know,
I don't drink LeBron juice
I
either.
was part
I
of
just
that
respect
conversation.
greatness. I respect greatness. When I see
Okay.
somebody that's better than Michael Jordan, I call him. He's better than Michael Jordan.
No, he's
No,
not. No, he's
no.
not.
Out of here, bro.
That's a whole show to talk about that. That's for sure.
You got that right. All right, let's move to the next topic. Let's talk about the Derrick Rose trade. Who won the trade? The Pistons traded Derrick Rose for Dennis Smith Jr. and a couple of draft picks.
Derrick
who
Rose.
won that trade on your eyes?
Did you come to me? I didn't hear you.
Yes, sir.
Well, you know, it's kind of a weird spot. You know, Derrick Rose is not the player he used to be. He's definitely a bit slower. But I mean, the Knicks probably did only because the Knicks are actually playing somewhat of a decent brand of basketball right now for the first time in God knows how long. Detroit needs to, you know, they're basically tanking this year, so Detroit's done already. I'd say the Knicks won the trade, you know, just to get a decent veteran on that ball club, and who knows, maybe the Knicks will finish 7th or 8th and actually make the playoffs. So I'd say the Knicks.
All right. Ray, who won the trade?
I say the Knicks because they got an experienced veteran player. He can come over and help RJ Barrett out mentally and get him leadership. He got a leadership right now. So definitely the Knicks one because they could be a playoff contender. He's not the Derrick Rose like we used to see in Chicago. I mean, all the injuries, he took a step back. But he's a good veteran. He's a good leader. So that brings that leadership into New York and help RJ Barrett out to get him and his leadership. So when he takes over that team, as a leader point as a superstar, you have a veteran there to show him the steps.
All right. Jay, are you rolling with the Knicks as well?
Man, honestly, I mean, obviously the Knicks made out on this trade, but both these players made out. Dennis Smith Jr. was balling before he went to New York. New York put a real damper on his career. It was on an uptrend, and I really think that he needed to get out of there ASAP. But he needed to get out there as soon as possible. And going to Detroit, with them being as bad as they are, this gives him an opportunity to kind of work himself maybe back into a picture of a role for a team. So Dennis Smith definitely won on this trade. And then Derek, I mean, he gets to, spend the rest of his, hopefully he ain't going to be moving around no more, but he gets to spend his last couple of years, in New York and build that fan base and with a big audience following them. So I think both the players won a lot more in this trade.
Man, me personally, I think the Clippers lost in this trade because I thought that they needed to make a trade. They were looking for a point guard. I thought Derrick Rose was going to be that point guard, but they're missing out. It's hurt them from making a run in the playoffs, so they'll be the same Clipper team as usual.
I'm glad the Clippers didn't trade for no Derrick Rose, man. They don't need that over there.
No. Well, who do they do a point guard do they need then?
The Clippers don't need – look, the Clippers need
a point guard. They have no point guard.
I mean –
they need Tyronn Lue to come out of retirement and play point. That's what they need.
Well, the Clippers are in a weird spot because you got that Lou Will sitting over there, and then you got Patrick Bev,
which they're trying to trade, by the way, both of them.
I would, because you got to get rid of one of them. The Clippers put a lot of money into Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. I think they thought they were Transformers or something, because they've tied their hands behind their back, and letting Harrell get away really, really messed them up because they could have gone over the salary cap to sign Harrell.
Yeah, well, he wanted to be on a real team, Jay. So I understand why.
We gotta look at LeBron's text messages. I think he has some tampering going on.
Wouldn't be the first time.
But
you know who runs Clutch?
Huh?
You know who runs Clutch Sports?
Hey, man. No, but honestly, I would call Charlotte, and I would ask him about Scary Terry, because Charlotte needs to move him anyways. He's holding ball back. Ball needs to be playing 35 minutes a game. So I would call Charlotte and look at Scary Terry.
I would rather Charlotte send Graham.
Or Graham. Both of them, man.
Because Rozier right now he's been lights out. He's been averaging over double figures a game. So I would rather have Graham go because Graham is not a consistent player. He struggles in big games. Against small teams, he's good. Against big teams, he's not. Rozier is there, and he can move Rozier over to the shooting guard and have Ball come out and play the point.
Yeah, I think they can get more return. I mean, yeah. But, I mean, in the Clippers standpoint, from the Clippers side looking out, I would go after Rozier.
All right. Let's move to the next topic. There was a couple of superstars came out. LeBron, Giannis, Kawhi, Derek Fox. That's upset about this All-Star game because at the beginning of the season, they was told, hey, it's not gonna be no All-Star game. You get a week off. That was kind of to get these guys to start a little bit early because I don't know if you guys remember, instead of starting in December, they was going to start in January.
Right.
So we're not going to do an All-Star game. So let's just you guys had a complete week off. Well, now Chris Paul and the players union was pushing for the All-Star game, which is going to be set for next month. So do you guys think it should be an All-Star game, Big Dog?
I do not think so at all. I think there's too many health problems that they still need to think about. You know, there's games still getting postponed or canceled. There are some young players that are still being careless. You know, you can't put your superstars in that type of situation. I mean, there's going to be no fans, so they're not going to have a crowd to play in front of. You know, the league is losing money. Or wait, are there going to be fans? Because I've heard that there wasn't.
I mean, it's in Atlanta. You know, in Atlanta, the Hawks are letting fans in there. So,
well, still, you know, I say no. I say, you know, LeBron. I agree with LeBron and all the other stars of the league. You can't have this game this year. It's too risky. Right now, it's too risky.
Jay?
I hear you guys. I totally do. But you know, I'm looking at the NFL. And you look at the salary cap, the difference. If you guys are looking, the salary cap was shooting in the last couple of years in the NFL, and this year it came to a complete halt. And next year, I think they were losing like 19 million or something. It just got adjusted down to like 13. But I think that's what this is about. The NBA's lost tons of money. And like a lot of the sports have, and I think this is just a money grab, an attempt at one. I mean, look at the NFL; they had it on Madden. That's how bad they didn't want to miss a little bit of views out of it. So I don't think the players should necessarily have to go. I think a lot of the ones that were in the bubble deserve to sit out. But if you weren't in the bubble last year and you get called to the All-Star game, you better go. Period.
Well, if the NFL did it on Madden, maybe they should do it on NBA 2K or something like that. Take the same model and do it that way. I mean, why not? Or let's go old school and go NBA Jam. I mean, come on, how dope would that be? Think about it.
Might be nice.
I mean, the way I look at it, man, I mean, just like Big Dog said, you know, COVID there ain't nothing changed about it, you know. And me personally, Shannon Sharp said the best thing. When whoever the president is in the White House, you never see the president and the vice president in the same room. You just never see that happen unless it's like Congress or something. So why are you trying to bring all your superstars into one gym, one area where there's a possibility that, you know, it could be a spread of COVID, with them missing times, missing games, and then, you know, they come back and, you know, they're not the same because we've seen, you know, a Seth Curry who had COVID, and, you know, started off the season high, but ended up catching it, that he never did return back the same. So why would we risk superstars like that? I mean, Jay, you're absolutely right. It's all about the dollar sign. It's all about the money. That's the only reason why they're playing. And to me, I don't like, you know, the NBA had a good image, you know, it's all about the players, all about the players. We're going to do what's right. And then all of a sudden you lied to them to say, hey, you know, screw that. You playing. But I understand what the reasoning for, you know, what Chris Paul is pushing for. But you still have to be careful about people's lives. That's all I'm saying. Ray, what is your thoughts about that?
Me, I don't think they play enough games to have an all-star game. I mean, have the 7-day break, let the players rest, get physical up, get ready for the second half charge. I'm favored for the all-star game when they had the 82-game season. But like I said, you got no fans there. You know, you might have about 1,500 people there. I think Atlanta is doing 10% of their capacity. Florida doing 25% of their capacity in arenas. So, I mean, the All-Star game was set up for the fans. You know, basically show the fans, have a good time, and, you know, play in the NBA Slam Dunk contest was based for the fans. Who's going to get these players hyped? The other players? They ain't going to be hyped for this. So, it's going to be a waste of time.
Yeah, just let the rookies play.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How about this? I got a better idea, and I hope the NBA is listening. Let the All Sports All Plays Network meet up somewhere. We'll give them a show. We'll give them a show that they would not want to miss. That sounds good. How about that?
Yeah, we can run with that one.
All right, let's go. Let's ball. Let's go. Come on. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since I balled, but it'd be fun.
We talking about hooping. I must say, you know, I might got a little belly, but I got the best jumper of everybody. You know, Jay gonna be Kyrie Irving, but he gonna be able to cross me up. but I got the best shot though.
I beg different for that.
Some real talk going on, man.
I beg different for that.
You can call me Bill Lambier, man. I'm the guy in the middle, just bashing bodies. That's me.
Hey, there you go. Well, man, it looked like we got to the hour and a half mark. Man, this is a wonderful show. Jay, Ray, Big Dog, this is how we do it on Real Talk. We always give everybody 30 seconds to do their closing remarks. Breaking news to the network, everybody. I'm the only person that knows this. Well, it's got to be on the network before, but either this Thursday or sometime next week, we're trying to get a hold of them. We're going to have the Kansas City Chiefs inside reporter on the show again to tell us what happened in the Super Bowl. That shall be interesting. Man, huge shout out to Chris Brown. I know me and him go back and forth, but man, it's pretty cool to be 19 years old to go cover the freaking Super Bowl. That's pretty awesome. I think that's everybody's dream who want to cover sports. I know it's mine. That's pretty, cool. But Chris Brown, stop hiding. Come back. I'm waiting for you. I'm calling you out. I handled the set while you was gone. No disrespect to these gentlemen, but I had to educate them. So I'm just ready to put you in your place, Christopher Brown. So Jay, give you 30 seconds to say whatever you got to say, and we'll move on.
Oh man, my first Real Talk show. Glad it's in the books. Get that stoned in. Now we can do this on a regular basis. And I'm glad that this Tom Brady saga thing is closed at least for the rest of this year, man. I'm looking forward to April 29th, NFL draft, and the start of the next season to me. But outside of that, my Suns are still hanging around. Your Lakers are still going to fall, and I'll be here every week to battle with you, Freddie.
Don't run from me, Jay. That's all I ask. Don't run.
No running, bro.
Ray, it was a pleasure to have you back on again. Looking forward to having you back on some more. You guys, do you want to say anything else you want to say in the next 30 seconds?
Well, it's been a bad week. My mom passed away on last Monday, and then we buried her on Saturday. So this was a good time to come in here and just take my mind off of things and battle with some sports fanatic like me on this Real Talk. So I'm happy about that. And so I thank you.
Yes, sir. From the network. We're so sorry for your loss from the network. Big Dog, this is your first show. Thank you for coming on, spending some time with us. Tell the folks, you have 30 seconds, say whatever you need to say.
Yeah, man, this has been a pleasure. I'm a professional musician, but it's always fun to talk sports with people from all over the country, and this has been really, really cool. I started doing my own podcast this year, the Music Lounge podcast, so I've kind of gotten into this whole online podcast and broadcasting community, and it's been a lot of fun. So I really appreciate you guys having me, and hope to be back someday, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, you guys, this is the Real Talk. Since he's gonna be back Thursday, I know you can't really hear the clip, but you can hear a little bit of it. I'll just go ahead and play the clip we played last week.
Real Talk audience supporters, I'm sorry I did not make this show and I missed the shows this week. You're wondering why I'm in Tampa, Florida, here for the Super Bowl. But just because I'm not on Real Talk does not mean Freddie Henderson gets a pass for all the delusional takes he says. Everything delusional he takes, I want you to save it, send it to me. I want you to tag me in the comment to timestamp it. Because come next week, I'm coming for you, Freddie. So if you talk about my Eagles, you talk about my Sixers, if you talk about my point guard, you talk about my quarterback, I'm coming for you, Freddie. If you say anything about Daniel Jones, I'm coming for you, Freddie. If you say anything about the Packers and Aaron Rodgers, I'm coming for you, Freddie. Any delusional takes, I will find them. I'm coming for you. But, for the supporters and all they should Real Talk, I just want to say thank you for sticking with us. I will be back next week, and I'm bringing the heat. But until then, enjoy the rest of the show. Peace out. Coming from your boy.
I just think I had to replay that because he claimed he coming from me, but
look out.
But one thing he got to realize, we got Big Dog right now is gonna back me up. So
I got you, Freddie. I got you.
There you go. There you go. I don't need too much help with him. He little work. But gentlemen, you guys have a good night. To all our viewers, please like our video, share our video. You guys have a good night. We have Sports Corner coming right on after this. Peace.
Cool.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making the plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics never the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so type the laces. All sports, all plays.